Night of the Living podcast is always ad-free for patrons at patreon.com/NOTLP.
The movies, the magic of the movies, the magic of movies within movies.
Show business.
It's about movies. It's a real movie, film.
We are talking about Atowan Thomas's pick, and he got to pick because he's a mailing list subscriber. If you think you might want to have
Jealous.
a shot at that, just go to notlp.com and sign up for the mailing list. But he chose One Cut of the Dead.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Great movie. Great way to close out this theme, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we get into that, Amy will review something called Room 203 for
It was
Roulette.
something.
Patreon, thank you supporters at Patreon. We just recorded Origins. It was about
the game.
The game, that's right. It was Amy's pick.
Podcaster's Choice, which is coming up here again, and it's like that major pressure that we put on ourselves to pick the best fucking thing so everybody thinks we're cool. You know?
Or to troll one another.
Or to troll one another, which is why Andy picks Wes Anderson movies sometimes.
I picked once.
I know.
It's not like I picked it. If I want to troll you, I'll pick some Lars von Trier or something.
You would.
Oof.
Pretty sure I know what I'm doing this year.
That's January. So
Yeah, I think too.
We'll talk more about that.
We should have just troll month.
we each pick a movie we think everyone's going to hate.
We just reviewed Troll 3 times.
There you go.
every week.
2 of us love Troll.
Yeah.
And 2 of us always tell the truth. So this wraps up the theme. We're starting a new theme next month. It's going to be punny.
Yeah, because you know how we do.
That's how we do, and it's just going to be straight up punny titles.
Yeah. How was everybody's Thanksgiving?
It was good.
Andy made our Thanksgiving. He extended our Thanksgiving. He brought us food last night.
He always does this, and it's something I want to encourage. So I want to say it here. So you have to
give you food.
Yeah.
To feed us. Yeah. But specifically, you always bring us stuff after Thanksgiving, and you always cook your family's Thanksgiving, and it is always so good.
You're a great cook.
Do you want the listeners to send you their leftovers too?
Yeah. If you have some leftovers that could be easily and healthily shipped.
Don't do it. It's a bad idea.
As long as you do it overnight.
If you got like homemade mac and cheese, I'll take that.
But the reason Andy was over last night is because we all, except for Kelley, didn't come, but we went to see Thanksgiving, which was like just an old-fashioned slasher movie.
Eli Roth.
Yeah.
In case you didn't remember that, it was that trailer from fucking Grindhouse.
Did you hear his idea of what the movie is? He's like, they didn't want to make the movie the trailer was about. The
Holy
idea.
shit, I forgot all about that till right now.
Yeah, the idea is that trailer is for a lost film. The trailer is the only part of it that still exists. So his idea is that the movie they released is the reboot. And that's why it's all modern style. So like he's kind of, I respect the artistic vision here that he's like, it's not the movie you saw the trailer for. It's the reboot of the movie you saw the trailer for.
I gotcha.
And it riffs on everything you expect.
It's very
comforting.
Gory.
It's super gory.
It's gross. I had a hoot and a half. I thought it was great. And in fact, if Eli Roth wants to, just make another one next year and the year after that. Let's just saw this bitch for Thanksgiving. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, man.
It was super basic. It was the peanut butter and jelly sandwich of horror movies.
Yeah.
Oh, well, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
There were guts
pretty good.
Spilling out.
It's great.
Yeah.
Blood spraying here and spraying there.
Spraying everywhere.
It made me laugh.
It doesn't do anything new.
I didn't cry.
Don't expect anything new. There's nothing new, nothing you've never seen before, but there is a pretty extreme moment here and there.
It's like Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
There's nothing new with Thanksgiving.
Right.
You gotta go with the classics.
What this movie does not have in common with Thanksgiving, which is this is not a family-friendly movie.
Oh.
No, sir.
Which nobody told the bitch in the theater with us.
It's the second time we've been in an Eli Roth movie where someone brought their kids to it.
First of all, the movie started at least a half an hour late because until we showed up to buy tickets right when it was supposed to start, nobody else had.
Oh.
So I'm confident we're just going to be chilling in this theater by ourselves. And then the movie starts a half an hour late, and then like 10 minutes after that, these people wander in. So these people showed up
This happens to you guys
40 minutes after
all
the
the time.
correct start time.
And they sit
Almost directly behind
You know,
us.
you pick your seats before you go into the theater.
They knew we were sitting
We were there, and they're like you see on the screen, those seats are chosen already. These bitches sat literally right behind us.
In an empty theater.
Rude.
It was funny.
There were rows behind us, rows and rows behind us.
Yeah.
They literally sat right behind us.
I saw him walk in. I didn't really pay any attention at all. And until they started talking through the whole goddamn thing.
There's a certain level of deafness I've come in, like in my middle age. I was already deaf. I've been deaf my whole life, but there's a certain frequency range that I just don't hear.
Yeah.
And I was so blessed that the frequency range is exactly where their voices were. It was like I didn't hear what these two were hearing.
You don't hear whispers in movie theaters?
They were actually more
I couldn't hear 'em.
Is that the
behind
frequency?
Andy.
Yeah.
Like, I could hear it. It was annoying the shit out of me, but I was also a little stoned and, like, whatever. But I was like, I'm going to get to a point where I say something. Before I can, Andy says something. He's
Oh.
like, can you please stop talking?
And he said it firmly but kindly.
Kindly. I heard them say something after that, but it pissed you off.
No,
what was it?
It's just like I didn't know who they were, but I guess after realizing it, after what I said, they're teenagers.
Like young teenagers.
Probably like high school age or
Like
something.
13, 14 maybe?
Yeah.
But like what pissed me off is like when I politely asked them, like, could you please stop talking? And this was after maybe a half hour of them chattering away. And then I asked them to stop talking. And I said, and they started giggling. And that just pissed my shit off. And then I said, real fucking funny.
And the mom was like, don't you say...
Don't curse at kids.
Curse at kids. And in the meantime, like, the shit on screen is fucking horrific. It's Eli Roth.
Every other word is fuck in this movie.
Yeah.
There are body parts a flying.
Well, it's like, here's like, I didn't know they were...
don't curse at kids.
I didn't know they were kids until she said that.
Yeah, because they were human size is what I started to say.
But I don't know what kids look like.
I don't...
I'll
Yeah.
curse at kids. Fuck a kid. I'll curse at kids all day long.
When they walked in, it was super dark. We couldn't see who it was. I just saw some tall people. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, adults.
Not
Yeah.
sex fuck,
That's what I thought too.
verbiage fuck.
Right. I'll fuck them up.
Like,
Yeah.
fuck, I'll
You
curse
don't
at a kid.
curse
I
at
wish
kids.
somebody would.
It's not sex fuck.
I wish somebody would say, "Don't curse at kids" to
Yeah.
me. I'd curse at them,
Yeah.
and then I'd be like, "And the kids are gonna get what you just got."
Yeah, well, fuck you
I
too, mama.
curse you. And then give him the
It
evil
took
eye.
me a second to kind of formulate why that was so fucking funny. And then they started laughing.
It's like
Because again, I was a little
she
stoned.
clutched her pearls. Like, oh,
She did.
What happened after that? It seems like, did you guys have
They shut up.
an awkward movie going?
They left before us. I think Andy made sure he was standing behind me and Freddie.
yes.
when we left the
I
theater.
lingered.
Yeah.
Because
But we didn't run into him again. It was fine.
one of these days, my luck's going to run out and I'm going to get my ass beat.
She's gonna hit
Yeah.
the fuck out of you with her purse. Stop. Okay, first of all, you know what? Your kids have bad manners. This is bad manners, and you let it happen. Okay, so shame on you. No matter what my friend said or didn't say, shame on you. Okay, that's all.
Yeah, shame on you.
I like it.
It's just upsetting.
Yeah, I don't care if you bring your kids to the movie theater. Just tell them to shut the fuck up.
Well, I do if it's
Yes,
like young
I know,
kids
I
at like
know.
Hostel 2.
Yes.
I mean, they were probably old enough for this movie. They're probably going to be fine because whatever kids see worse things every day on social media. But like, they are still young kids, ma'am. The only reason they're in this theater right now is because they're probably desperate to sell tickets because they were clearly under 18, and it because she called them kids.
They were accompanied by an
chaperone.
adult.
Yeah, an adult. With
Are
him.
you allowed to go into an R-rated movie with an
Oh yeah.
adult?
Yeah. It's up to the parents to make that decision.
I have
There goes your
had
ran out
children.
the window.
Hey,
Under 17, not admitted without.
Oh, you're
Adult.
right.
yeah,
Anyway, that's my fucking sermon.
have your grown ups.
Andy was like, "That we're fucking funny."
Man, none of the movie posters made any sense. Like, they all look made up,
Yeah.
like, and fake, and weird actors that I don't know who they are. It sucked.
Well, it's coming from you, though. You're kind of
Out of touch.
clueless about pop culture.
Well, I feel like Amy pointed out that she thinks the strike had
Well, yeah,
something
the
to do with that.
strikes, both strikes lasted so long. I don't think we realized how little promotion we were getting. Plus, I also think we were already disconnected from the pandemic.
Yeah.
So it just doubled down on itself, and you see a poster for a movie, and you're like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
Also, these studios, man, they got shitty design. They probably just sent it to some ding dong in like Scottsdale, Arizona. All the art for all the shows on every single streaming service, like the actors who they're doing, like they're not recognizable. They're photos,
They're like AI.
presumably.
But it looks like they're cut out right from different scenes from the shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these are simple. Like, there's no reason for this. This is bad Photoshop. Like, there's one with like Jake Gyllenhaal, Brad Pitt, and somebody else, and none of them look like who they are. There's like it's like a watch movies on our streaming service, and it's like you can watch Brad, Jake, and the first guy, and who I can't remember who, and none of them look like who they are. It's the weirdest. Like, stop. Well, how hard is this?
Apparently, it's pretty hard.
God, it's not hard.
People don't care. I mean, that whole thing
There's
about
no craftsmanship anymore.
it goes into everything. And there's artists out there, and then there's this thing that makes these Jack from Will and Grace look like a corpse in their Apple TV landing page.
Yeah,
Remember,
it looks terrible.
It's weird,
Right? See, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it.
It's very strange.
It's very easy to do those things.
yeah, man. I mean, you're professionals, for God's sake.
It's so easy. I don't understand.
We had a meetup. We skipped Thursday because it was Thanksgiving, but Amy was like, let's have a surprise meetup on Wednesday night, the drinking night of the year, where everybody usually goes to the bar.
Snake.
Oh, we watched the best movie ever.
What was it again?
We watched the riff tracks of a movie called Pressure Point.
Pressure Point.
A movie so good, Freddy forgot.
I've seen it twice now.
Listen, I love our bald kings. Be bald all you want, but not the way this guy did it.
Oh, no.
Also, his forehead was so bulbous.
He looked like Peyton Manning,
The
but
pressure point was under his skull.
Yes.
So that was TM me. I made that up on Wednesday night when we watched it.
She made a better joke than the Riffers did.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. We had a good time with everybody.
Well, tell us about Pressure Point. What's it about?
It doesn't matter.
Oh,
I don't know.
he's a secret agent.
It's an action movie?
Oh, yeah. He gets like burned by the CIA and then he has to exact his revenge or some shit.
If you can imagine like a pudgy Peyton
They
Manning.
stole his baby or something.
So Peyton Manning now.
And he is, it starts where he's, post football. It starts with him working fake, he's on disguise as a chef at this birthday party for like, there's a gangster's kid or something, and they're gonna
No, he's like the president of Argentina or something.
Is that what it was?
Something.
Anyways, it seemed like everybody
It was a
looked like they were
political
the mob.
assassination.
And then there was like the birthday cake was gonna explode, and two kids wander into the area with the cake, and he has to it's like on Her Majesty's Secret Service, but with no money. Like there's
And balding, pudgy Peyton Manning.
there's like an escape from the ski lodge, down the mountain on like, was it snowmobiles and shit?
Yeah.
I highly recommend it.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
Or
But you know
recommend
how
Riff
I love
Tracks, mean.
trash.
No, I hear you.
It's bad.
Riff tracks, bro.
They make it so good. They make it go down so easy.
We had a good old time though. A yabba-do time. Anyways, is there anything else for the top?
I'm gonna tease my squeeze for Topicana this week. You'll notice we skipped Topicana last week. It just, there was a holiday. It was hard to schedule, so just sorry. But patrons, you'll be able to hear mine. It'll be a who day, who nay, or who cares.
Yeah. Bringing it back.
You can use the graphic again.
Bringing it back. Here, I'll throw a little one out.
All right.
The Thanksgiving Day Parade. What do you? Who day? Who nay? Or
Who
who cares?
nay?
Who day for me? I love camp.
The Thanksgiving Day. Now, I liked it when I was a kid, but now it's I like watching it with other people.
This year gave us Cher.
I hate parades.
It's pretty terrible.
Cher, who could barely move.
It was pretty.
hey.
Even Cher was. It was pretty much the worst thing I've ever seen.
I love bad lip syncing.
Yeah.
They make me feel trapped. They were always on at my ex's families for the holidays.
It's a PTSD reaction you're
And
having.
well, I didn't like them before that. They feel like they go on for 1,000 years, and it's just
Al Roker just needs to sit down, and they worked that man too hard. He just had like a knee replacement or a hip replacement, something.
Oh,
like
he's
that.
sitting down during the parade. He's fine.
Yeah, okay.
everyone's giant fucking Xanax smiles. Like they're just like everybody's zoned out. The performers are all lip syncing horribly.
Mm-hmm.
There are little boy bands and girl bands, and you don't know what they are.
No, you don't.
There's a fucking float with little kids singing some weird Christmas pop song, and they're like, and now the hit singers from Peru, give me some more. And then they're just singing.
No, you know
this.
what they had this year? It was somebody who was described as, this guy from his viral TikTok fame, not the recording artist. This guy from TikTok. No, ma'am, I don't.
Well, that's because he is just this guy. If he
Ladies and gentlemen, Luca Magnotta.
So they're having TikTok stars on there now?
I guess.
Gosh, this is where we've come to.
I like that it's a star.
But see, I like making fun of it. I like hooting and hollering and being silly, like on our Discord with our patrons.
It's more shitting on it.
I get you.
It's a family tradition where my parents would make snide remarks about people, and then now I'm like, I watch it and I do that.
You're lip syncing.
Plus, we're always hoping for like the balloon to go haywire and have people fly up.
Well, apparently we missed protesters. Apparently they were able to cut around it on NBC.
What were they protesting?
Palestine.
The war.
There is pro-Palestine people.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
The Gazas and the such as the Iraqs. So okay, I think I land on a who day because I think it's funny to make fun of
Sure.
Wait,
on Thanksgiving Day parade.
I know, but isn't that your question for Topicana?
No, that was a preview. That's what how that works.
That was a tease and a squeeze.
Oh, that was just the example. Okay, I'm with you.
Okay.
Anything else for the top guys? Anybody? Going once, going twice?
Hello, boys and girls. It's time for Straight-to-Video Russian Roulette.
All right. So I watched Room 203. Believe that's on Hulu. This movie was very much not for me.
Oh.
Well, who's it for?
It was upset people who like boring things. I'm sorry, but my God, I haven't seen. I'm sorry. The people who made this, you are all so lovely, and I'm so glad you're out there working on your craft. Oh my God,
I wasn't here. I was at band practice. I got out of seeing this.
Pacing?
Oh my God, yes. It's the story of these two young ladies. They're gonna be roommates.
Who are ringing up three lovely girls of their own?
They're going to college. Well, one's going to college and one's trying to be an actress. I couldn't tell where this was supposed to be set. If you're going to try to be an actress, you're probably in New York or LA. It was neither. So I really don't know.
Maybe they were a second city. They were like,
They were in
Chicago. I got to have Italian beef and acting.
Well, it was filmed in Shreveport, so do with that as you will.
Shreveport, Louisiana.
Where you go to pursue your acting craft.
I think
Boulevard
that's
of
where,
Dreams.
they filmed Cabin Girl there too. I believe it was Shreveport.
There's a lot of Louisiana. They're kind of our rivals
Louisiana, yeah.
in Atlanta.
Remember
We
that
gotta fight them
All the
for
King's
films.
Men? Do you remember that? It was Sean Penn. It was about Huey Long, maybe. Yeah. But my parents' old house is in that movie. One of the cabins they lived in down in Louisiana.
Louisiana.
I read a book about Huey Long once.
Yeah. I don't know. I still haven't seen the movie, but I don't know anything about him. Didn't he date a stripper though?
Socialist mayor.
Yeah.
That was not in the book.
Was it Blaze?
So anyway, the one girl, her mother had recently passed away.
The actress or the college girl?
The actress of an accidental overdose. Her friend is going to college for writing, I guess. She wants to be a journalist because that's the thing anymore. Do you remember when I made notes, and this is in my notes. Let me see. When we were young.
When we were young.
Everybody was like an architect or like a doctor or a lawyer.
Yeah.
Now they're all journalists.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
I have.
Is that a trend?
It just feels like it.
Wow.
It's very anecdotal. It's
well,
an
it seems
impression.
like it's if the protagonist is like a woman, or sometimes non-binary journalist for sure,
and that's what she is.
because they can investigate. It's a game of Call of Cthulhu.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
It is an easy way in. You're right. Yeah. It's not saying it's lazy writing, but it's a convenient writing.
Yeah.
Anyway, their new apartment. there's a creepy landlord. It's haunted because the creepy landlord
does creepy things.
Died in there.
The bare naked ladies broke in.
Yeah.
Turned up the TV just for fun.
In the old apartment. And it's just, you know, it is so boilerplate, so by the numbers ghost story. It's another fucking horror movie about grief.
Yeah.
Stop it. They went everywhere there was a choice to make. It was just the easy, safe, seen it before.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Are they trying to be like art housey and slow burny and
No, not art housey at all. They're trying to make the fucking Conjuring, but even that has its pacing issues. It's gray.
Hear that, Conjuring?
Fucking hear that? I burned ya. Everything's gray. Everything's dark. You can barely fucking see anything.
So nobody turns on any lights. It's one of those movies.
That is a thing, man. And like, I know people are like, "Oh, it's a horror movie, of course." Like, horror movies, just you could be dark and still be able to see. That's lighting, and I feel like I've seen a lot of these where if I watch it in the afternoon, even with like the windows obscured, it's hard to see details and things, and I'm like, well, this is a dark screen, and I assume something is happening.
It's very true. They rely on us having seen all these movies they're riffing on to create tension, and it's like they off-center a shot while you're looking in the corner because you want to, but there's nothing fucking there. There's never anything there.
Yeah.
There's a necklace that's found in the wall.
Yeah.
You put it on, you start acting cuckoo. So her roommate, the girl whose mother had died, wears the necklace. She starts acting weird.
Is it the amulet that sends Dracula into limbo?
No.
Oh. That was in the wall too.
If fucking only. Here's what I wrote. God, this movie is boring. So much time spent in gray lit dim rooms slowly zooming into a hole in the wall.
Are there a lot of cheap jump scares? Because
no, there's barely anything that happens. The pace of this movie is glacial, torturous. I'm sorry.
I was going to ask if the place was glacial. The pace.
The pace is glacial. It's carving geographies that will be present for millions of years.
My goodness, that's slow.
See that? That's from room 203, and that's a trilobite.
This movie, I wrote lots of computer searches read aloud by the characters, so we get that sweet, sweet exposition.
Yeah.
I wrote
this. It looks here.
And then in 1943, and then their son died.
Carriage accident.
This is the unseasoned chicken of movies. That's what I wrote.
It needs some dipping sauce.
It needed sauce. It needed pepper, salt.
Some pepper.
Ranch.
The
Garlic
villain
butter.
is giving very watered down Brad Dourif. Like very watered down.
Who is giving it?
The villain.
Oh, the villain.
It was the creepy guy that was the landlord. Duh.
See, that's how I felt about that movie where they're in Romania and the girl sees the guy in the window across the street.
I love that movie.
Everybody does. Why? It was bad. It was bad. It was exactly who you thought it was.
Yeah, but it was real scary because like when she ran into him on the subway.
Had no scare.
Did you notice though that the plastic bags, you can see a head in there? Like just barely, there's a head in it.
I didn't, but I wouldn't have been surprised. I would have been like, yeah, because he's the fucking killer.
It's not
What are we talking about?
The movie's called
The Watcher or something?
The Watcher.
The Watcher.
I think. It's something like that.
It's with Micah Moreau from It Follows.
But it's spoiler alert, but it's not about like surprising you with who the killer is. It's just about the dread of knowing there's a killer living across the street from you.
I'm sorry that you guys don't agree on that.
But
don't let it drive a wedge.
It's like one of those movies that visually is too subtle where unless you are literally sitting right on top or watching it on a huge screen, there's so much shit that it won't work on a small screen. So
now, I'm not trying to be argumentative, but I did watch it on a giant screen in my living room.
Oh, that's all right. You wanted a twist.
I wanted more than
different.
a straight line.
Yeah, it is definitely a straight line. There's no diversions.
Threads go nowhere. It was just
threads. There's no threads.
Not for me.
It's just one continuous line, point A and point B. You want threads.
I wanted threads.
And you're like, no threads. They're like, we're not going to give you threads today.
No threads. Jerry Seinfeld came and told me that.
You just have to be happy with what we gave you.
Well, I'm just going to say, I was not happy with what they gave me.
Yeah. Send it back.
It was the creepy landlord's mom's wall necklace. I guess the mom's ghost was in it, or her evilness. She had revenge on her mind. I don't know.
Did he kill her?
The kid or
No,
the
like,
landlord,
the
who
landlord,
was
yeah.
her son? No, somebody else did.
She was chock full of evilness.
I guess.
And
Just
I guess. Yeah.
I checked out quite a bit, and that wasn't fair of me. But also, I can only take so much.
check out, man. If it sucks.
I was shocked.
there
I
are
just
times
was so shocked by how boring this movie was.
Although there's an argument to be made with our main attraction with sticking with something that might not be good in the first act.
And I watched the whole dang old thing.
But you
And
don't
I
have
always
to.
Will.
Nobody has to.
I believe I have to if I'm going to do. If my job is the roulette movie that week, then I will watch the whole thing.
Amy's journalistic integrity is nothing to be trifled
I'm a
with.
journalist,
But
because
I
I'm a
think
woman.
part of your review could also always be, I couldn't bear this.
Well, true. If something like really egregious,
Yeah.
I mean, I had laundry to do too, so it was like whatever.
Yeah, it didn't matter. Low stakes.
Yeah.
Did you get stuck in the dryer?
This is the best day of my life.
No. My dryer is on top of my washing machine. I don't even know how I would do that.
Oh, that would be even crazier.
I'm
But her bratty
sorry.
sis dropped by for a visit.
Yeah.
I really struggled with trying to find a nicer tone.
How was it acting okay?
Yeah, everything was fine in regards to acting and
Well, did they
being
all
able to hear people.
did they all talk in low tones?
It was a very quiet movie.
Well, that's the type of the acting is popular nowadays in these type of movies where nobody talks at regular volume.
You can thank Mumblecore for that.
There was this scene where the journalist girl is sitting on her bed with her laptop in her lap, and her love interest dude is sitting across from her with his laptop in his lap, and they're going to do research on two different topics so they can divvy up the work for this.
Are
They're trying to figure out what's going on in this apartment.
Probably, huh?
They
then
don't
they
have
just
phones. They just use their laptops.
They just keep going, hey, I found something, and then they'll turn the computer around and read the article from the screen, and then they'll turn it back around 2 seconds later. The other one, hey, look at this. And it just kept going back and forth between them.
Do you think a couple was in bed at night reading Reddit and they're like, you know what would make a great movie?
Oi.
Is this. Us passing Reddit articles to each other.
It's fun.
But you have to read the article to the other partner.
Well, that's because the people are our age or older,
Yeah.
and so they're passing laptops back and forth because that's something that someone our age or older would do.
Sure. Look at this. I think I found something. This person freaked out publicly.
Well, if it was us, we'd be passing our phones back and forth, and we have to put our reading glasses on.
We
We have to zoom in.
When I said our age, I was being generous. I mean, a few years older than us would be passing around laptops. We would be trying to read our phones with our glasses.
With our glasses.
And I have an iPhone mini.
Or
and
without
everybody's
our,
mad at me.
holding it. I'd be holding my phone a little without my glasses.
Well, I have
The old
to. I have
farts.
to close one eye if I try to do it without my
But
glasses.
then the phone goes to sleep, so I have to unlock it again.
God, that's horrible.
Oh my Lord, you old men.
Look at this. I found something.
I encourage
Apparently John Hamm has a giant hog.
everyone in this movie to continue working. I'm not mad at you.
She
I have
didn't
to
like your
imagine
movie.
that something in the script got taken out and watered down, because I don't understand why. You remember that movie Dark Water and how boring that was?
Yep.
This was worse.
It's not just the script. It seems like everything was boring.
Yeah, my goodness.
Yeah.
That was
Did the script tell them not to like the movie?
maybe.
So that's room 203.
Room 203. Try not to stay there.
Rem.
All right.
Rem 203.
Let's see whose turn it is next week.
She can't
Oh,
tell it's stay in room 203.
I know you usually like me to say it first.
Oh boy. I'll let you say it and then I'll tell you who won.
The movie is called The Conference. It's on Netflix.
And they're excited about The conference.
A team-building conference for municipal employees turns into a nightmare when accusations of corruption begin to circulate and plague the work environment. At the same time, a mysterious figure begins murdering the participants.
The first part sounded cool. I mean, the second part sounds fine too, but it sounded already pretty interesting without the slasher element.
It is team and not teen building, right?
Correct.
It's not like I was a teenage
Emma's and
Frankenstein.
Mary.
Teen building.
Emma's and Morris, Freddy. What is wrong with you?
I need a pimply face.
And it was Kelley. You lost.
I figured my number had to come up
When
sometime.
your number's up, your number's up.
You're going to check that to me, dear?
I'm doing it right now.
Thank you. That's how I know now that I don't have the
I'm your
roulette.
secretary.
Well, you're not my secretary, but it is helpful to me.
I'm your momentary, while we're recording, only if you lose roulette, secretary.
Yes. It's a very rare
That
occasion.
noise you just heard was me texting that to you.
Yeah.
All right.
Lights, it's the main attraction.
That was a little loud. That was the first time I played that
out of
one.
my left.
Yeah, it's a little.
We might have to work on the mixing. What do you guys think?
Mix it up a
or you
little
just let
different.
me
It's
do
a
this
little
every
loud.
time.
I'd have to
Loud
hear
for
it 2 or 3 more times, but
Okay. Anyway,
but I'll let you know
please do.
after like 2 or 3 more weeks.
Needs some tweaking still.
One cut of the dead.
One cut of the dead. Atowan Thomas. Thank you.
One cut. That's all you get.
Mm-hmm.
Ow.
So we're gonna spoil it.
Was it dead?
obviously.
This one is a humongous recommend from me. So
Me
if you haven't
too.
seen it yet, watch it before you listen to this because I think it's important.
It's fun. First time watch for me.
Andy, had you seen it before?
Yes. It was.
We had to, yeah.
And stick with this movie because is that a spoiler? Stick with it.
Well, we're already in spoiler territory.
okay.
Yeah,
we're
so
there.
if you don't want to be spoiled on a movie that does have threads and does go in not a straight line
And you can see everything that happens.
and is good and you can see everything that happens,
You could see everything.
this movie's great. I do feel like I get what you're feeling about we were talking outside listeners, so you're not privy to this conversation yet about how at first it was
Just
like, this
for
isn't
us.
good. But like I did sense that was not the whole. I sensed I wasn't in the hole
like,
yet.
Some of
Yeah.
it was a little too obvious. The lags in the filmmaking.
Yeah, I knew there was something.
Yes, but
There was something missing.
I noticed that quality this time, but I can't divorce because I already know what happens. But I'm like, how would I have thought this was the real movie because it's so silly?
I think before we get into it, like,
Plus, it's so short too. Then.
yeah, you want to look at there's 3 acts. The first act is you're seeing a one-cut zombie movie filmed in a warehouse
If you don't know what that is,
zombie
that's
TV
one.
show.
It's a one shot, like it's a continuous shot.
with no edits. So like basically it's like live theater.
37 minutes. We watched Joe Bob's version, and that's how I learned that fact.
And then there's weird bits in there, and you're like, okay. And if the first time I watched it, I was like, this isn't very good. And then the second act happens where you are introduced to the character who you've seen as the director in the first act is really a director who has been hired by this little strange lady from the network,
The zombie channel,
the zombie channel,
which is amazing.
yeah, to do. And she says, we're going to make a zombie movie. It's going to be live and there are going to be no edits in it. And he's like, oh my God. And you meet his daughter, who's this very manic film student who is like in the Kubrick
scary.
mindset. She's kind of scary. And then the third act is you get to see them make the movie you watched in the first act, but you get to
Behind the
see
scenes.
all the funny shit that resulted in what you've already seen.
Yeah.
It's like backwards, but has to be to
the
be
first
great.
act is kind of like a found footage
Yeah.
type of movie, so
Yeah.
you can kind of explain it in your mind of why those things happen.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those found footage movies, especially like Blair Witch, because that's like all improvisation, and there's like some like weird, like momentary lapses of where they're trying to figure out what they're going to say.
Yeah, off kilter
Yeah.
moments. It's fucking amazing, actually. I mean, this is maybe now one of my top, 5 horror comedies, Maybe higher. Maybe higher. Do you hear that, listeners? Top 5 is what I said official, but could be higher. So put it on your calendars.
It's not even really, if you think about it, a horror.
But it is a horror comedy.
Yeah.
It's a comedy.
And it's a horror
there's
comedy.
horror stuff.
The horror is the movie they were
zombies.
making.
Well, that's a horror comedy.
Feels like is it cheating? I almost was wondering.
No,
if
it's like
the
honoring
movie-
the genre of
Yeah.
Like
zombie
Tucker and
movies
Dale.
like the tropes of it.
I think
Yeah.
the beauty of this movie is it works in any genre. She could have come to him
Oh,
and
yeah.
said, "We've started the Cupcake Network, and you've got to make a movie about a bakery." It's like a setup. The thing
I'm
that
glad
makes
they
the
did
movie
zombies,
great.
though.
No.
The thing that makes the movie great is not that it is a horror movie. It's that they film students, a senior project. They make this movie that takes narrative structure and breaks it into basically a found footage movie and a traditional like dramedy, and it's never been. I've never seen anything like it before.
It's seamless.
Yeah,
They did get sued by
the
a playwright, saying that they took something from this dude's play. So but then they credit him, and I guess they gave him a
They
cut.
didn't even push back because they were like, "We did see your play. You do deserve credit." They gave him the money and they added a credit.
Oh, nice.
So it was really cool. I mean, it was like they didn't fight him or anything.
Yeah.
For this being like a student film, like these are kids. It's some sort of acting school in Japan, in Tokyo, that they
Yeah,
attended.
like when Freddie said it was like a senior project, it was like shocking because
Like college
it's-
seniors?
No,
College.
it's
Oh,
not.
it's like a film school.
It's like
adults can
any
go.
age.
Okay.
It's a
Gotcha.
But like it's their
Community
first
college
but it's still
almost.
like their based their early filmmaking
It's an acting
in their
school,
career,
so, like-
right?
I got you.
Right, like these.
Yeah.
This is their first.
Yeah, but to think that students made this is kind of really surprising. because,
Well, when you said that, I was shocked.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was
So
so like
refreshing.
it was so tight, and there was nothing superfluous about it.
So it must be a good school. Probably, right?
Yeah, it is very tight, and that's what's so great is seeing what's so fun and satisfying. And just to give these filmmakers even more credit, I was saying this is a Japanese movie, and there were subtitles, and a lot of times I actually couldn't see a lot of them, so I was missing little details, but it was so tight. The visual, everything was done so well that I knew exactly what was happening. Even again, like character interactions, like I was getting without really, having to have the dialogue.
The director, Shinichiro Ueda, he had directed 5 other shorts prior to this. So I'm guessing they made those as projects, would be my guess. And then this was the first feature.
Yeah. Oh, I said it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The part where you get to see the behind the scenes of them actually creating the movie. I mean, that part was obviously filmed later. Like, it wasn't filmed at the same time. At least not every part could have been.
Do you mean?
Right?
Well, I don't know. I like the trivia might say, but I don't want to bog the show down
Yeah,
looking it up.
whatever.
But
I don't know.
Like it's pretty. Like I don't know. They could have. That could have been.
Did they film them both at the same time? That
Well,
feels
probably. I mean,
like doing that on hard mode, but I don't know.
most stuff is filmed out of order, and it's not a real one
Yeah.
cut. So I mean, probably
Right.
they like
Isn't it?
Well, the credit scenes, you see them making the movie.
the whole movie.
No. The first act is all in one cut.
Oh yeah,
that's totally one cut.
But
Yeah.
But
The
like-
rest of it isn't. Yeah.
But like during the credits, you see people making the movie that aren't in the movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
So it's not like they filmed like them making the movie. You know what I mean?
right.
There's too many layers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I like those outtakes at the end because you see another layer. You see the actual crew filming the fake crew, who are filming a movie.
And what is funny, like I did actually think like the last shot of the movie, the movie they're making, where like it's the crane shot and they pull back and you see the pentagram. That was a really cool, like I actually, even if that had been the movie, I was like, that's pretty cool. I knew it couldn't be because it was so short, and there was a ton of time on the meter left. But I was like, that's cool. And I love to like finding out later, like they're like, we don't have a crane, and they fucking make a human pyramid
Yeah. They
to
break the
get
jib.
that fucking shot. And it was really cool.
It's the perfect climax because when you get to after you get through watching the one cut presentation and they cut to the strange lady and the zombie network, and you meet the director, who's the dad, his daughter, the intense one, and his wife, who has more in common with the daughter, where she
gave up acting.
They're intense.
She gave up
She had
acting
to.
because she couldn't take
She
it.
lost her
like-
fucking mind.
It's all the second act is all about setup, and then there's so much payoff in the third act.
So much payoff.
Because like there's a lot of character development in these, and it's like everybody has threads,
And you don't even know what's
Because-
happening yet.
yeah,
Yeah.
because like Freddy said, like the daughter is kind of like very intense and takes her craft seriously, but then it pays off at the end because she needs to jump in
she
Yeah.
saves the
and
day.
take the lead and help everybody make this movie.
Yeah, she doesn't let them settle.
Yeah, and
Like,
then
like
like
that was the coolest.
the setup of like the director, like he's very like timid
Yeah.
and takes a back seat to everything and just doing these things just to do them.
He needs work.
Yeah, but at the end, like the third act, his character arc comes to completion because he needs to have these moments of release and just yelling at people.
Yeah, he has
He
to
goes
step
off
up and be an
screen.
actor. Like he has to take, because the original actor who plays the director drops out or gets sick.
He drank. Wasn't he the one who drank hard water?
Oh yeah, he
gave
drank
him
the hard
diarrhea?
water. Yeah.
No,
is that a different one?
It's the
That's a
director,
different character, yeah.
Him and the makeup artist that his wife had to take over. They got in a car accident
Was it a car accident?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I couldn't
because they were
remember.
having an affair.
Oh man,
It was
that
a
one,
fair.
that part just slipped
It was in
right
the
by
No,
me.
background.
but it's another setup part
Yeah.
where, like, in the middle section, you see like these two actors, and they have this moment where like he's has a camera, and he's like playing around with the actress, and he's like, "Get on your knees," and he's taking
Oh my
like
God.
an above shot, like she's
Dude, that went right over
Yeah.
my head. That's amazing.
Oh,
it's another layer.
damn.
That's wild. Well, there's so many moments. Like early in the second act, the mom is like trying to find something she loves and cares about. So she's been bouncing from hobby to hobby when really she just needs to be an actress. But she goes crazy when she acts. So what happens is they have to kill time, which is really strange when you're first watching Act 1, and they get to this point where they have to kill
so
time.
funny.
Yeah, and he's like, "Do you have any hobbies?" And it's perfect though, because she had been doing the self-defense class.
Yeah.
And so
Pum.
she spends the time doing that, but then it becomes part of the story. Like it's very yes and like
Yeah.
they improvise and just pull together. Like the teamwork element of it is really heartwarming.
it's so satisfying.
Yeah.
It is really satisfying to watch it. Like, especially like,
Because you want them to succeed. I mean, you know the end because you saw the first act.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you see them trying to improvise the stuff, and you just want them to succeed so bad because everybody's putting so much work into it.
It's a very feel good movie, and I love in the first, like in the movie that they make, like when the boyfriend zombie like keeps stopping.
Oh yeah.
And then starting, first of all, it was already hilarious. I was laughing my balls off at that. And then to go back and see the reason why they had to keep stretching it out was really great.
Did anybody watch it with you?
Elise, yeah,
Did
she
you
loved
like
it.
it?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, we both did.
And
I
even
recommended
the-
it to Colin before I came over here.
And even the actors had arcs where
Yeah.
the lead actress, like her studio said, we don't want you to do this because you have this image to uphold of this pop star.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And then she gets thrown up on. Yes. And gets all bloody, and like it goes against her image, and that's what she wanted.
And she was actually really a teen idol before, right? Wasn't that what we learned on Joe Bob? Like I think
No, that was another character.
that was a different character, but there was somebody
Is
who
it the lead actor?
I'm not sure now.
No, the
but I'm
the
sure
girl
it's-
who was like the assistant camera person that really wanted to, and she ended up taking the camera.
the one who did the zoom, the cheesy zoom, right? Is that her?
She, I guess, had been an idol. I don't know much about
Like J-pop
the
idol?
J-pops
Yeah.
and the K-pops and the C-pops. I don't know, Margot.
Great movie though, just all around a good time.
The guy shitting in the bushes while getting his zombie makeup applied,
Yeah,
Loved it.
and it was just great.
The faces were perfect. Again, I knew I couldn't see the dialogue, but I said, "Is that guy shitting himself right now?" And Elise was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "That's what I thought."
yeah. You can pick up on a lot of things, and just the performances are so
That
good.
guy shitting himself.
The actor who is drunk in the movie is actually drunk. He got drunk for making the movie.
He had good zombie moves.
He
He
did.
was awesome, but even more so, like this little heart-to-heart he has with the director about not getting to see his kid.
See, I missed.
Well,
that.
that's kind of like a cautionary tale of what the director could become.
Yeah,
Because he's kind of like losing touch with his daughter, and the movie is what like brings him back, like the relationship together again.
Yeah, and this guy is the example of his daughter's older and she has grown away from him. He's doing it just to impress his kid because he's like, I want to do something that makes her think I'm worth something.
Yeah.
And that's just like heartbreaking because he doesn't get like closure. He's one of the characters that like, but he's one of they pull together, they make that human pyramid to replace the broken jib, and that's just like it's kind of like a win for everybody. It feels so fucking good.
That part has a very like summer camp movie feel to it.
Or the full Monty. He reminded me of the finale of that.
This movie had like a very 90s feel to it.
Yeah.
It was great.
At the end where where they're doing the crane shot and the girl's on his dad's shoulders.
Yeah.
And then the picture at the end.
Did you cry?
It did,
I
actually.
knew
It got
it.
me choked up too, man.
Knew it.
It was really
Especially the first time.
It was really good. I mean, it really is a sweet movie, but also, I mean, just really hilarious and
Well crafted.
really well crafted.
They were talking about making an American version.
I hope they don't do that. They probably won't now.
I think that was probably talked before the pandemic hit and a lot of things changed.
It cost $25,000.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Please don't make an American version of this.
It took 2 days and 6 takes to get the one perfect take of the first act.
Golly. Do you have to be shitting yourself if you're her? Because she's in every scene of the first cut, the big
6 takes of that whole thing. That's a lot.
The school is called Inbu Seminar, which is ENBU.
Yeah. Like she carries that 37 minutes and has to be the one with the most opportunities to fuck it up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'd be shitting bricks.
One of the actors said they got it perfect on the second try, but a crew error led to the camera stopping.
Oh.
And that made the footage unusable.
Oh, that hurts.
Dude, that person.
But you said like she carries it, but like since it's like a one take and they're supposed to kind of make it like mistakes in it.
Right.
So like there's room for her to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. There is some forgiveness.
But it's a
there.
long time to be keeping that kind of emotional
And the
like,
energy.
energy.
Like the
Exhausting.
the end when she's like she's screaming for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because there's something happening in the back behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And they're just like, keep going, keep going.
Oh, that's one of my favorite moments is when she has to hide and the two legs come into the frame.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And at first you're like, oh, a zombie just almost got her.
And she does such a good job of she does the two hands over the mouth like total horror thing, and then you see what really is happening is that somebody like a PA standing there with a cue card saying like stall for time.
Yeah.
It's so brilliant.
It
man.
really, this is an incredibly tight movie. Definitely going to be a rewatch.
The whole thing took 8 days to shoot.
That's it?
Yeah, that's all 3 acts. So what did I say about the one cut was what, 2 days? So the other 6 days we're making the rest of it. How'd you spend your week?
Not making something that good.
It's wild.
I didn't make anything.
Yelled at some teenagers in the theater. So.
That's true.
Well,
we did.
That takes up a lot of time.
Well, then
and
you
energy.
made the world a little better. That's what you made.
hopefully that woman took a little of that to heart, but I highly doubt it.
Just throwing back some feedback to them is making the world a better place.
That's all they need, That's all they need.
You didn't allow
I'm not going to allow.
someone.
Andy's not going to allow
You
disrespect.
you fucking you brought it to their attention, and that
I'm a hero.
is what matters.
man.
The screaming baby was the director's baby.
Oh.
The real director's baby. Remember in the rehearsal, the read through,
Oh,
and they're like, "Don't worry."
Yeah, that
it's
was
quiet."
awesome. That was so fucking funny, man. This baby just screaming its ass off while they're trying to read script.
It's awesome. It just reminds me of every project. If you're a creative person and you've been on any project, it's the sort of reality shit that is captured perfectly.
Yeah, that was a really good moment.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
I would love to see this team do something else.
Yes.
I don't know if they have.
Have you guys seen Noises Off, the Peter Bogdanovich movie?
Oh, you know what's funny?
No.
I have always wanted to since it came out.
Well, when I say this movie is like unprecedented, like apparently the structure is based off of Noises Off.
It's got Mark Lynn Baker in it.
What?
A Perfect
Cousin
Stranger?
Larry?
Cousin Larry.
Cousin Larry?
It's about the theater.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that now while this is fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
Anything else about One Cut of the Dead?
Nah.
Anything else about Cousin Larry?
Cousin Larry, he's ridiculous.
I'm a fan. He was in The Good Wife.
He's on Ghosts.
Yeah.
He's the shitty neighbor on the U.S. version of Ghosts.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, Mark Lynn Baker?
Does he look the same? Because he always looked old.
No,
even
he
in
doesn't
his-
look.
Okay.
I mean, you can tell it's him because he's got a very distinctive face. But
He's very bald now.
he
in the
looks like
front.
Ben Franklin.
he
Yeah, he
doesn't have
does
the-
look
He
like
doesn't have
Ben.
those curls anymore.
In the back.
Yeah, he comes. He looks like Ben Franklin. Like Ben Franklin like clawed his way out of the grave.
That's kind of how he looked on The Good Wife a little bit.
Aw.
But like not bad.
But hey, you
like
know.
a grampy.
He's still working.
Like he doesn't look like a ghoul
Even
or
in the
anything.
80s,
He's
yeah.
just
The Perfect Strangers. Like he went to college. He just got out of college and moved to Chicago, right?
yeah.
People
And he looked 40 at
in
the
84,
80s
yeah.
were older.
Well, that's true.
Looking.
I just saw a thing about that in one of my stupid social media
Oh, yeah?
things where it was just like it just showed a bunch of actors from the 80s and their ages, and like they were all around like a little bit old. Like I think the oldest was like 53, and it was like
Does it explain?
it was fucking diabetes.
Oh, Wilford Brimley.
Oh, yeah.
He was 49 in fucking Cocoon, and like
He was when they made the thing. He was like our age, maybe a little younger.
yeah, he was like yeah. There was a whole oh, and they showed Mr. Roper. He was like 53,
Yeah.
but like
Mr. Roper.
that's not a 53 at today.
Norman Fell.
Yeah, Norman Fell.
Is he okay?
Well, he's dead.
Oh my God.
We've been dead a long time, I think.
So no, I mean, or yes.
I think he's been dead since the 80s.
Yeah.
So he was Weekend at Bernie's the whole time, and Three's Company.
Well, after Three's Company, he was only in that. He only lasted into that. I think the first 2 seasons.
Yeah. Then
I think
Don Knotts
Don
replaced
Knotts
him.
took over. Mr. Furley.
Do you remember when? And of course, this is probably a function of I was a child in the 80s. So then everybody looks really old to me. But like football players, baseball players, basketball players, they were all like old.
They did look older than
They
that.
were
no,
schlubbier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember we looked through our yearbook,
Bald.
Oh yeah.
and we were just like, "Those are moms."
Like who are these people we graduated with? I wonder.
Dude, some of the people in our senior yearbook, man,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
look like they've been working at the garage
Yeah.
for 14, 15 years at this point.
I mean, to
There's
be
a
fair,
few Debbies from HR in there.
oh
we
my God.
kind of have a
In our
hard
high
live in
school.
high school too, though.
Oh,
That's
really?
true.
I mean, like
The
to
fucking suburbs of Cincinnati.
no, but yeah, it was a hard live in high school.
There's
They
a lot
were-
of Northbrook in that school.
the rich kids that went to our school were sent there by their parents to harden them in lieu of private school,
To punish them.
to punish them proactively.
I want
in advance.
I don't know
people
that there
who
were any
went-
real rich kids at our school. There
I
were
want people who
Coleraine
went
rich
to
kids.
like
but-
real tough high schools to. I want to hear your stories versus.
I want to see those
ours.
pictures. I wanna
Well,
see
my
those
brother went to
pictures.
Aiken in the 70s and then
Oh.
Coleraine in the 80s.
Yeah.
So if he was still alive, he could give you a compare and contrast. I can tell you what that would be. That Aiken was a lot scarier.
I was gonna say everybody I know
But
who
Freddie
went,
would go tell an Aiken person.
No.
Oh,
Here's the
things I've
thing.
seen.
If you talk to people who graduated from one school, they're going to say their school was nicer, I think. Like, I always felt like offended when people would
I don't
like,
want anybody to tell me
say
I went
some
to a
shit
shitty
about
school.
Coleraine. Like, I had a coworker when I was working for the bank. She asked where I went to school, and in Cincinnati, it's
That's a thing.
high school. It's not college like every other place in the country where they ask where you went to school. And they
Which
mean
I don't
college.
understand. It's not that everybody else in the country goes to college and Cincinnati doesn't. I don't know
Right.
why that's a thing. People act
just
like they don't
is.
ask.
It's classism.
We know the neighborhoods. That's how you
yeah.
find out who you're like. Oh, I have friends at fucking Oak Hills. When you were at Oak Hills, yeah, you know Joey McGee.
Yep.
So it's a classist thing, and what happened to me was she asked where I graduated from. I said Cool Range. She goes, really? Wow. That was the
Was she a
response I got.
Macaulay?
I'm just saying, like it's never as
Catholic
bad
schools.
once you're in the school that you hear horrible things about. It's still educators doing their best, and maybe some shithead kids here and there. It wasn't that. There was no school in Cincinnati that was really that bad. It wasn't like Lean on Me or Dangerous Minds.
Were you like, where'd you graduate from?
We did have students die. A couple of them died, but
every school has
In the
students
school?
die.
I mean, like, we had
Like it's haunted?
we had a couple of dramatic
right.
deaths. I'm
wrapping this conversation up.
But Kelley, we'll discuss after the show some of the more dramatic deaths.
I remember a couple.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're talking about. Do you, Andy? I don't know.
No, let's just thank Antoine for this.
Thank you, Antoine. That was a good time.
Thanks, Antoine. I hope your school was safe.
So, at the end of every show, we say hi to our Beelzebubs.
Hi.
And we're done. Patreon.com/NOTLP. If that's something you're into. Alise.
What up, girl? I love you.
Alyssa. Oh my God, my dog is snoring so loud. And she farted real bad earlier.
I saw you make the face.
Yeah, it was real
I
bad.
knew that's what happened.
It was
You
a
looked
fart face.
dismayed.
I didn't smell it this
Her
time.
butt's aimed at me.
It happens every time.
Amy looked like she'd received very bad news.
The bad news is that it's going to be hard to breathe for a few seconds.
It's looking grim.
Branan and Emily. Jeffel. Iona Goodwin.
I own at least one great one.
Dr. Brian. Old Dirty Bill Sturd. Bill Farner. Frosted Blakes. Blayne Yogurt. Jordache Jeans. Paul. Jeremy. Cassie. Gamora. Ernie. Dave Siebert.
And
Monica.
And
Dustin.
oh shit!
Woo! Woo!
I love you.
Good
guys.
job, everybody. Love
And light.
and light.
Love yourself.
Live, laugh.
You can't-
love,
Love yourself.
eat, and pray.
Go eat something and pray about it.
Bye.
Bye.
If he should go to bed